Hello, folks. As you can see, we have Valentine Hollick with us again today, and the title that he selected is Lightning Bolt, Carbon Copy of Each Other. Valentine, please take it away.
Yes, aloha from Maui, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone around the globe, and may it be merry and happy and smiling for everyone on the planet, and hopefully inner joy and peace comes. But anyway, I'm happy to see you, and yeah, Ron, so we haven't spoken since, what, maybe 3 weeks ago?
Something like that. By the way, every time you rock forward, you cut the top of your head off on the screen.
Okay. How's that, better?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason I'm holding this golden rose is the significance of the diamonds of love. When I spoke about the golden roses, when Mother Mary appeared to me and handed me the white rose, it's just to remind people. And White Feather, her name is Reverend Mary Sukup. She's a Cherokee Indian, by the way, Northern California. She was with me in Hawaii, and she was given guidance to send me this golden rose, which is pure now. This is not a made-up one from Colorado. It was given to her by a loved one and says, I'm to pass this golden rose to you for your work. I'm getting guidance to send it to you. And she passed it on. And it's real gold. Wow. It's real gold from a golden rose.
Well, that's got to be worth a few shekels.
Yeah. So she just that's what we're to do, is to pass things on in our journey. You know, we can't hold on to things. You know, make those changes, pass on something that can maybe reach people. And she felt that this was something real important. She got the guidance. I'm supposed to send this rose to you. She had no idea why, but it's unfolded. It's in the video from the beginning, and now at the 10th video, it's on the 10th video that I did with you. Yeah, which is the lightning bolt. I talked about the lightning bolt, that we came from heaven like a lightning bolt. We all came in like gangbusters. They talked about that on when they interviewed me. You came in like gangbusters. Some people come in quietly. Well, I think that we are like lightning, light beings that came in to help Mother Earth. And we came in to help unite these souls on the planet. And we need to surround the planet with light, golden light. Every race, and the reason I say carbon copy of each other, it was giving me a direct message when all the races were going against each other, especially the whites and blacks with the separation. And the message came clearly and channeled through me and said, well, we're a carbon copy of each other. The black race, the white race, we're this carbon, the Indian race, the American Navy and Indian. You know, we all are from the heart. We have all colors. We're all magnificent colors like lightning from the heavens. We came in to do our work here. We're not here to play tiddlywinks. You know what I mean? You know, people think we're here, oh, this is a place to have a party and just drink and not engage or make a difference on the planet. You know, your gifts. Like, what are you doing to make a difference on the planet? That's what we need to do, you know? And then the changes will take place if we're really clear and concise and have a plan on how we're going to help our communities and families around the world, Ron.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a huge challenge because there's people that claim to be in leadership positions, and they have had a different game plan than freeing humanity.
Yes. And I really believe that the Enlightenment, like I said, when I was speaking to you, what you weren't aware of, but India, when I mentioned about in India with Deepak Chopra, everyone in India has contacted me. Like the spiritual centers, they want to know what I said to Deepak personally for his work on his soul level, that he needs help to help him go further with his growth, even though he's the teacher. And he's
been challenged himself in recent months.
Exactly. So he's been challenged. So I went to uplift this Deepak, to uplift him. And the people with India are contacting me. And then also with in India, when I spoke about warrior women with angel wings with Mother Teresa, my whole thing blew up from India. I can't, hundreds and hundreds of people are contacting me from all over the world now, from Japan, from New York. They're contacting me, but they're not putting the comment or likes. They're saying, we want to share your video worldwide. We're thumbs up. We're sharing your video. The 9 videos that you're doing in Hawaii, which, by the way, Ron, I want to bring this out and people to the world. If they decide to share it, it will help the enlightenment, and the lightning bolt will continue going around the planet. Lightning from the sky, from the heavens, the rainbows. The rainbow is the afterlife going into, and people know this. When they see colors and light, they know that there's something, a presence of God, the presence of something, of energy that they can't explain. When it's colorful, like a rainbow going to heaven. People will tell you when the departing souls, I saw a rainbow. I'm in Hawaii. I'm so blessed to be in Maui. I'm back in Maui from Molokai, by the way. And I see it. When I see a rainbow, I just get joyful. I feel like I'm going home, heavenly. And I think people's presence remember that light. Like I said, like a lightning bolt. Diamonds of love. We need to continue with the diamonds of love from our hearts to share with one another. During this holiday season, it's very difficult with people with families when they're separated. If we're separated, that's why I say carbon copy, because we've been separated so much with the wrong energies on the planet that are trying to keep us separated. But the enlightenment and the truth serum and the purity knows that we need to unite together in order to make a difference to help our planet. Crucial.
Yeah, ironically, I know people personally that have had their families falling apart because of financial problems and other problems that are present, drug issues in some cases.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I get those phone calls. I get those phone calls with emergencies, from suicides to Parkinson's to leukemia to cancer to, oh my God, plane crashes in Molokai. I'm getting calls, hey, we just had a plane, I just got out of Molokai, and then we had a plane crash with a couple that helped out for 34 years in Molokai, and in the community, in shock that the plane didn't. Now I shut it off. Now I'm not getting a phone call. Can you believe that? I let it ring. I even shut off the thing so it wouldn't ring. Yo, what's going on here? So anyway, you'll hit on 4, and then it'll turn down. You know what I mean? Jeez. Okay, we got the ring from above. Look at it that way. So it's such a blessing to be here at this time, to speak to one another, to hug one another, to embrace one another. The holidays is a very difficult time with suicides with people, honestly.
And a lot of people don't, a lot of people die during this time of the year. A lot of elderly.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing a lot of scams on the elderly too, because Oprah came on last night in her foundation, just so I give you an idea. In her foundation, they're saying if you contact 100,000 people, then you'll get $5,000. And she gets on air and goes, it's a fraud. It's a fraud. Don't listen to these people.
I get those things all the time.
Yeah, same here. I'm getting things in with that's why I don't go on Facebook and Messenger so much, because of the evilness that goes on, instead of the light that's shining and wants to make the difference. We want to stay with those people that want to make a difference. But the ones that want to interrupt the joy of who you are, we have to stay away from and pray for them and release them, and have to evolve, and hopefully they will evolve on that. And so I tell you, during the holidays, I saw such cheer with people, the happiness of people. Then you see the opposite, where people are very, oh my God, it brings everything up for them. of their families. Even myself personally, you go, oh my God, you wish you'd be with your family you grew up with, and we're disconnected. We're disconnected in the world. Not in Molokai, with, like you said, less people. They rely on each other and they connect with each other. Even on Maui, we had someone came forward. I want to talk about the goodness. Came to the Maui Food Bank, and they've been coming to Maui a long time. And this couple gets and says, we want to give $10,000 for the holidays to help you in your food bank. And I feel honored to give this to you. That's the least that we can do. And I'm getting chicken skin right now, the Holy Spirit. That's what we need to continue to do. Not just 10,000. Whatever we can do from our hearts, monetarily, food-wise, smile-wise, cooking-wise. Get all your chefs together and share food together. You know what I mean? Get all your family members together and unite together. And if you're separated, try to make amends and make things right. You know what I'm saying? Because the holidays bring so much up for people, and I felt
absolutely
it really strong, Ron. And so what I wanted to talk about was I feel that we're at a time going into 2018, we're still 2017, where I believe there's changes going on and things are moving, but it's I call it Baby Planet Earth with baby souls because everything takes so much time. Instead of saying, oh, we're going to do this like tomorrow or next day, oh, well, we're going to do sustainability and zero emissions in 25 years from now, all over Hawaii. Well, let's do it now. Let's.
Well, they have the technology, but the technology that's present, the Tesla technology and stuff like that, would eliminate a lot of the financial burden.
Yes.
And of course, that cuts the legs off of the people that want to keep the financial system going.
Yes. And I was very fortunate to have a electric car, a Leaf, while I was in Molokai for 4 months, which zero emissions. I had the trucks, the trucks to go into, and I said I prefer to be with zero emissions. While I'm in this energy of the purity, I want to be in the presence of everything that is pure from the oceans. I don't want to disdain, or bring emissions into the atmosphere with trucks and gasoline. I want to eliminate that. I'll tell you, if anyone gets an opportunity to get a zero emissions electricity, we have it on Maui. And people didn't believe this to me in Canada. Maria's sister said to me, oh, well, but you got to pay for the electric. I said, no, you don't. We have filling stations in Maui. No way, Valentine. You have to pay for it all around the world. I said, no. And her sister checked it out, and it's true. We have filling stations that are for free for people for their zero emissions in Maui. So if Maui has it as a model, so I'm sure other parts of the world do, and I want to hear from them. Where in the world are they having zero emissions with their own pumps and electricity that's helping the planet right now? I want to hear from those people. And when I said that with Mother Teresa, India blew up my Facebook with hundreds of people about healing, about warrior men with angel wings, about Mother Teresa, about the death and dying. And then Osho got it. All the Osho people got involved, which I know the bodyguard personally from Maui here was with Osho, and they try to make fun of this guy. He had billions of dollars, and he laughed at the government. He had all these, but he should have gave all this money to the people instead of getting all these materialistic Rolls Royces to prove all this money. He should have took the money and fed the people. You know what I'm saying? You have to, right? You feed the people, give the money away. You don't need all these hundreds of Rolls Royces or thousands of them to prove a point to the government that you can get as much money as you want. Who cares? Make a difference by feeding people, by clothing people. I did it in Fiji, from Oahu, the Fiji chief. I gave all the designer clothes to Fiji. They have no clothes over there. That's what we need to do. They have no clothes in Fiji. So the Polynesian islands, I spoke about the Hokulea. The Hokulea and everything, that 25 countries they've touched, and nobody even knows about the Hokulea, except the Polynesian countries. They need to pay attention. They went around the globe. Thompson, the navigator, and Mao. I got to give credit to Mao because he was the ancestor from another part of the Polynesian, and they could look him up. Mao brought in the navigators and anointed them, the 5 of them, from different parts of the world to continue navigating with sustainability and with zero emissions. And that's what they want to bring into Honolulu now. They signed it in that in 2035, they said it'll be early, 2024, they're trying to get all the transportation in Honolulu will be without gasoline. It'll be electric, zero emissions through the buses and transportation. They're because of that Hokulea going in 25 countries and continues to pioneer the sustainability, which we really desperately need. He saw so much, and all the other people that were on the cruise saw so much. They want to make a difference on the planet. That's why they went on. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that Trump just signed something with the government that I read that allows the oil companies now to go on our national wildlife refuges and stuff and frack and drill for oil on the national refuges, which is insane to me.
Yeah, it is. Well, he needs someone to have a conversation with him, outside of his power. I think maybe he should go into the dream state and get quiet himself, and the people that are closest to him, whether it's Melania, his wife, whether his staff, and say, hey, look, you need to take a look at this. Just like the summit, they're trying to tell him what the, what's happening with the emissions around the world. He needs to wake up. I hate to tell you, he's very good at what he does, but he's not doing the right thing with the oil because zero emissions needs to happen now.
He's building up the military and allowing the oil people to have more freedom in America, in the United States, than they've had for a long time.
Well,
relaxing a lot of the environmental laws.
Yes, and getting away with it because they're in power. And these are the people that need to go in the sweat lodges or within themselves and say, am I doing the right thing for the planet? Not just for the U.S. The whole world's watching the U.S. and the whole world knows what the U.S. did. And I spoke about that with the wars, and Oprah brought it out, and she couldn't even say anything. And this woman had quite a voice around the world about presenting about 52 wars. We need to get into the Enlightenment and grow and make changes, not get into war, get into bringing sustainability, bringing goodness to people, bringing kindness to people. What's her name talks about on her show every day? Ellen. Be kind to one another because she knows what it's like not to be kind. You talk to any comic, they know what it's like not to be kind. That's why they get this material and they play it back. Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, David Brenner. I was with David Brenner. David Brenner goes, very interesting. When I was in Bloomingdale's in New York with them. David Brenner, you know David Brenner. Johnny Carson.
That's okay.
Carson. Let me give you an example. Johnny Carson was floored when his son died, in the canyon, and he came to me, and he was beside himself. Nobody can console him. But Spirit showed me that and I was with the writer, the fourth writer, that to help his son with the drug thing and family. They gave me $13,000 on a card and said, go fix my son. I said, well, if you're involved in it, then I can help you. She says, well, if you help my son, which you're the only one he'll listen to, his name's Jimmy, and his brother writes for Johnny Carson, he said, I'll put you on the show with Johnny Carson. And I said, well, if you're involved with this, I don't care about being on the show with Johnny Carson. We need to do authentic healing to help your son, because he kept calling out to me because a woman said he actually knew you from another lifetime. You came in to help him in this lifetime. And he was the only one that busted through in front of his mother, where he said he never got the upliftment or encouragement as an artist. Instead, his brother got all the praise, and he didn't. And he went to drugs and alcohol. And a lot of people, and a lot of these souls are suffering around the world because they're not acknowledged for what their gifts are and who they are. And they get pushed aside. And I refuse to see that any longer with people, because I see what it does to the soul. It tears the soul down instead of builds them up, and brings creativity and brings messages to help our communities and families. Those, the artists, the musicians, they're doing songs. When I talk about the lightning, like lightning, we came from heaven, like lightning, like thunder. The musicians are coming on ABC, lightning, thunder, you know, we're doing the drumming. They're all, the whole thing, the world's watching us. Don't think that they're not. The whole world's watching all of us. And also the heavens are watching us, but they're at a different vibration and speed. So they're, one day could be, they don't have time. So they're without time up above. We're on a time thing. We only have so much time here. So let's get things right. You know, let's move in a good direction, right?
Yeah, but I wrestle with the ignorance of the other dimensions.
Yes.
It ignores this one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by ignorance. It ignores this one.
I know. And they say to you, oh, well, just be patient. You need to.
But we've only waited several thousand years.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So that's why we need to come in like lightning and do what we came to do, and light everybody else's lightning and get them their passion to bring enlightenment in the world. Just like what we saw around the world that destructs the world, we need to build up the world. We're not here to destruct the world. We're here to encourage, empower, and bring forth that that gift of voice to speak, to reach out, to help. Like you have all these marathons, and people, I hate to tell you, just join hands together all around the world. You don't have to go to all these marathons and show up and they're thin as can be. They need to build themselves up. These athletes get torn down. They expect too much out of you, the world. I hate to tell you, I call Baby Planet Earth with baby souls on it, because they think that things are going to happen miraculously by us running. No, we need to join hands together all over the world in enlightenment, in the golden light, in the rainbows. We need to bring our light together, billions and billions of cells, to bring that diamonds of love to the surface, and authentically, and not tell people stories, and don't lie to people.
Yeah, talk a little bit about being a carbon copy of each other.
Yeah, well, it was given to me when the riots, when it was getting with Black Lives Matter. It was getting so out of hand in New York, and it filtered into different all over the world, and all of a sudden it came out loud and clear. A voice came out and said, "We are a carbon copy of each other, the blacks, the whites, the red race," and it continues on. Stop this. Stop this. We're a carbon copy of each other. Stop speaking against your brother and sister. Stop it. You gotta move in another direction in a good way. You know, find a balance to give love, that diamonds of love, to the black race, because we've all been in all different races and all different lifetimes. The people that understand about other lifetimes, we've been everything. So we just need to work things out and join together. That carbon copy means all races, not just white and black, because we've been so separated and convinced that we need to be against one another. I hate to tell you, but the whites and blacks are so strong together is why they try to keep them apart and separate us, because we're so strong and unite together is why these psychopaths, you call them, and these unevolved souls want to destroy people and humanity, because we have about how many billions, 5, 6 billion people on the planet, and they want to thin it out. So they want to get rid of the races one by one and have them all against one another. Well, it doesn't work any longer because people are awake and they see it. The black people see it.
Some people.
Some people see it. But I'll tell you, I was in a black church in Washington. It was all black people. There was 2 white people there. And they embraced me. I was with Pat Boone and Rosie Greer in Washington for Jesus with 113 nations. I was embraced to come up front with Pat Boone and Rosie Greer, for example. Then after I got done with Pat Boone, to being the evangelist, if they know who he is, like Billy Graham, right? You know, Pat Boone, Rosie Greer, white, black. Then I get invited to this church, their gospel, and they're praising the heavens and the Lord, and they're just smiling and embracing me to come in because they see who you are spiritually, and they're not looking at you at your color.
You know, I've actually was invited some years ago now to speak in a black church, and I was the only white guy in the whole building.
Yeah, yeah.
They invited me, and I got good accolades for the message and everything. They really appreciated it.
They appreciate it, right? Well, because they saw you run. They saw who you are, the light that you carry. They see your presence. They go, oh, he's part of us. He's in the enlightenment.
I'm a human being.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with color.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And we got to get away from this race thing with color and come together with our rainbows and this lightning of multicolors, that we're multicolors of rainbows, each one of us. Because when we start disappearing out of this embodiment that we're in, we become all colors, like the rainbow. And that's why you see people doing pink hair, green hair. These people have remembrance. I hate to tell you, the youth and the kids and these tattoos and all, they want to be in color because they know they were colorful before they came in.
Well, what gets me is the new thing with a lot of the kids is they actually buy jeans and pairs of slacks that have holes all through them.
I know.
When I was a kid, if you got a hole, you fell and ripped a hole in the knee, you got a patch and put over it. You covered the hole up. Right. Now they sell the clothes with the holes already there.
I know. Don't even just give them to them. Don't sell it to them. You know, you can go anywhere to get holes with clothes. Right?
They probably, I don't know what they cost, but they probably are a premium price. You pay extra for the holes.
You do. Yeah, and speaking about the holes, we have, each one of us came in. My spiritual mom talked about this. She was funnier than Roseanne Barr. Yeah, okay, got it. And she's funnier than Roseanne Barr. She goes, hey, I hate to tell you, but it's not a perfect world here, but we're going to go in one hole and we're going to go out another hole. We came in through the mother with one hole, with one hole, right? And the universe has another hole. So don't think that you're going to get away with things because you're going to go through another hole. So stop worried about all these women trying to get together with these women because they birthed the children, but you're going to go out another hole into the heavens or what you earned in this lifetime to go to. So there it is about holes. I think Murphy would love that for his movie and Jim Carrey. Coming up, or Ron Williams would do a whole thing on it. He's probably doing it up above. They keep him busy up there in the heavens. I hope they, he's figuring his next material. He's going to come in another lifetime.
Writing his next screenplay, huh?
Yeah. And speaking about the person I mentioned about Tiny Tim, when one of the videos, he was with the Great American Circus. I was in New York with him, and I was talking about Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey. And I never got back to Tiny Tim. But Tiny Tim recognized me in New York and said, who can help this man? In front of all the broadcast, all these very well promoters that, 10,000 people come in, 5,000 people to 10,000 people in Studio 54. All your major musicians, Madonna and Lady Gaga, like on that realm, would get Bono, would come into and become very successful. So I'm with the promoters, And Tiny Tim smiling at me goes, because he talks to God. He sees me with his manager, and he goes, who can help this man? I want him to get out in the world and help people with the light that he carries. He recognized it, Tiny Tim. Tipped through the tulips on Johnny Carson. Only man on Johnny Carson to get married around the world on his show. Right? Mm-hmm. Tiny Tim. And then his management calls me while I'm in college. He's from Collinswood, New Jersey, and I'm working on a project for healing to help somebody. And they call me to get involved with Tiny Tim, with the Great American Circus he was doing in Florida, where you're at. He was doing a major thing, and then he passed over after that. But he wanted to pass the torch to me, and I'm bringing that up. Pass the torch. Your mentors are supposed to pass the torch to you. My mentor had television shows and everything, Toma and Beretta. I never brought him up in the 10 videos. And David Toma. He was the one that reached out to me and said, you need to, share love with people. I need to, hold hands and embrace one another, hug one another. He said, touch is so important. He would speak about it as the #1 motivational speaker in the country. They want to look him up, David Toma, Toma. And he became like a mentor to me, and then I outgrew him. And mentors don't like that, but they're supposed to pass the torch. You're supposed to pass the torch. Don't hold them back. And I believe that's why the kids and the youth and all the music world and all the film world and the movies, they're just going forward. They're not looking back and saying, that person helped. I'm going to help myself, and I'm going to move forward with the vision. That's what we need to do, is move forward with the vision of bringing the golden light, the rainbows, the colorfulness of who we are from our hearts to help our, not only families and community, but help the heavens too. I'm sure they want to see us up there, after a while too, while we're doing the work down here. Like when we're sleeping, we're getting information. We're all getting information. We come back in and back out of the body. I have a remembrance of leaving the body because I've been doing it since a child. And I was told that's impossible. You can't talk to the dead. Well, they're not dead. Your father's not dead. Your mom's not dead. They're alive and they're watching you and your relatives and all. So behave yourself for Christmas and everything.
Okay, well, that's a good note to end on. Behave yourself for Christmas.
Right, behave yourself for Christmas. All of it said the Grinch in with Jim Carrey, and you got to see his movie.
And people will start watching this on Christmas Day. Okay.
Hopefully, the golden roses will continue on the planet. This pure rose, significance of our hearts coming together to help each other on Mother Earth. May we continue to uplift one another and give glory to the heavens that we're here to help one another and embrace each other with love, the diamonds of love. And I share that to everyone.
Thank you, Valentine, and namaste and aloha.
Yes, and in the golden light and the rainbows ahead, brother.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Aloha from Hawaii.